Our competitor said this: you guys look like you're coming out of vaginas. What are you eating?
Penthouse tomato toasty.
Yeah. Walking, running late. Why is it when you're running late you finally figure out that the gate that you want is like at the other end of the airport, like 1.5 kilometres away? Why is that? You're such a nice lady. Virgin are the best airline, I just want to say that.
Thank you.
I'm in cattle class, which is not always great, but the plane is pretty empty. So I've always had a fear of flying. In fact, from the age of 19 to 30, I didn't fly because I was so scared. In fact, I had a massive panic attack before takeoff, and as soon as takeoff was over, they let me sit next to the pilots in a jump seat. True story. This was back before 9/11, so I didn't fly for 10 years, and at the age of 31, actually, I'd been in real estate a year, and I took my kids to Fiji. I had to take so much drugs to fly that basically I was unconscious for the first 3 days in Fiji, so it wasn't a nice time for the family.
P1, and that says A. So if we go Terminal 1, and then pick up Zone A, because A, B, C, what do you reckon?
Yeah, just do it.
Alright, confirm location.
Did you see how much it cost?
Fair estimate, you click on now, and it says $18 to $25.
Cool. Let's go. What's the real estate market like here?
It's a bit flat actually.
Is it?
Yeah, it was going well for a while, and then it's just gone, and then it's just levelled out.
Let's see if the guys that organise the event are tight asses. Here's our room, let's check it out. Oh, looking good.
Oh wow, look at the river view. We've got an outdoor area. This is nice.
You say that's that, isn't it?
This is nice.
Follow me around, Dave.
Wow. Crikey, you can actually not just have a rollerblade bed then. You can actually have
We don't even need a roller bed. That's our own balcony.
We've got our own balcony, that's awesome. Look at that bathroom.
Check this out. This is how the rich and famous live. Dear Mr. Daniel Hedge, And then we actually lived in a caravan in Whittington. I remember sleeping in a red sleeping bag, and I remember this really big TV which was in the caravan. It was like one of those really big ones with an antenna made out of Australia. I remember him being in detox, being terribly disfigured. He'd have to have a towel on the side of his shoulder because when he ate, all the food would come out of his mouth. 4 detoxes from the age of 17 to 19. And they drove me by ambulance to hospital for the last time, and I didn't know it, that would be the last drop of alcohol, the last drug I would ever take. I didn't get clean and sober, I didn't do those hard yards, I didn't live in AA to get sober and just have an average life. I mean, you know what? Fuck that. Do you know what? I wanted to be a real estate agent, I really did, but I was really scared and intimidated. We arrived here last night and we went into our hotel room. We met at reception and we went to our hotel and we opened up the door all excited. And normally you get a little dingy sort of 2-bedroom place, and this was a great big suite. It was a corner suite. The balcony, we measured it, was 20 metres long, overlooking the river. It had bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. And I'm thinking, these Rewa guys are loaded. They've got a ton of money and they're really looking after me. And so I thought this was great. We were bouncing on beds in the bedrooms, dining room, kitchen. It was just great, and they were really nice to us at reception. And then I went down to meet somebody, and my daughter was in the shower, and she said, while we were looking in the room, we looked on the TV in the bathroom. There was a TV in the bathroom, and it said, "Welcome, Daniel Hedge." My name's Daniel Hedge, but anyway, wait for it. So I'm downstairs meeting some friends. My daughter's having a shower. She said, "Dad, there's a man in our room. His name's Daniel Hedge." And 2 people grabbed me and dragged me out of the meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I remember as I was ejected out of that meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, a year clean and sober, it was raining. My coffee was half full because it had spilt as I was dragged out. And I was starting to walk, and it was raining, and it was like something out of a movie. I remember having a moment going, am I in a movie? And I started to cry. And I thought, I can't even make it. I can't even make friends. I can't even cut it in a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. That's how bad my attitude was. Stand back in awe and say, you know what? I want to be like that. But in the man version. And here's the clincher. I sound like a girl on the phone. And I do. People say this, "Thanks for making the reservation, Danielle." And I say, my name's actually Daniel, I'm a man. I didn't get clean and sober at the age of 19 to be average. I don't do average anything. So I thought I'm going to have a go. Now I just want to talk about this. I'm going to share today I'm going to come from a place where some people might be happy to earn 100k in real estate. Some people might be, happy to earn 80. Some might want to earn 250. Some might want to earn $1 million. I'm going to share my stories about earning as much money as you possibly can. So I'm going to come from that angle today. Because once upon a time I thought real estate was all about that. I know today it's actually about balance, having a balanced life. You can't win back your kids' childhood because you're so obsessed with winning glass trophies in real estate. I've learned that. And I used to have a friend called Craig Robinson. He'd come over and he'd say this. He used to take his family to the Gold Coast on a family holiday once a year, and he used to take his kids to the theme parks. And I wanted to do that. I thought, I'm never going to be able to do that. Because the priority in my life was this: you pay bills by colour. Yes, some of you will know what that means, and some of you won't. But it means you pay the red ones first because you're going to be disconnected. But I wanted better than that. So what I did was I took a chance, and from day one in my real estate career, I thought, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to give this thing 150%. Well, you can't with me to this house because I think it's a lead. And I think, I don't really want to eat noodles for lunch, 79 cents a packet forever. So I don't know what I'm doing. Could you come with me? And he said these words. He said, "You're wasting your time, mate. You won't get it." So day 3, I did the letterbox shopping, and I went back. And I pulled up, and my heart was racing, and I just said to my head, just shut up. Just shut up. And it was like I had a shot of amphetamines. I opened the car door, it's like I floated. It's like a slow motion, I was so scared. I had no card, no briefcase. I didn't even know what I was going to say. No scripts or dollars, what the hell was that? And I door knocked it. Knock, 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 my heart was pounding, I was so scared. And she opened the door, and I just stared at her. And I didn't say nothing. And I think her eyes started to twitch, which is weird. And eventually I started to talk, and I was just this full-on talking, chatting. Just, I was like a creative suburb of Belmont and da-da-da-da-da. And eventually she invited me inside. And I thought, wow, I'm inside. And eventually we sat down,
at a table. It was a round table. It was one of those green lights, like a card table light, you know, with the spring on, you pull it down. She pulled it down. And I'd been speaking quite rapidly. And I looked down at the table and there was these white things everywhere. And then I looked back up and I thought, what are those white things? And then I realised they were bubbles of spit from my mouth. I was talking that energetically and that rapidly that I'd slagged all over the kitchen table. We had a moment where we both saw it, but I did move my folder over all the spit. And you know what? I could finish my talk right there because that's the guts, that's the meat, that's the balls of real estate, walking through the fear. And that's my story. Do what the others aren't prepared to do. Stop talking about it and start doing it. And some people may have heard this story, but on a Sunday I was at an open home and I was starving hungry, as you do when you're running hard. Some people will know this, you're running hard. I was smoking at the time, cans of coke in the car, shit everywhere in the car, going through Macca's drive-through, slamming down a Big Mac, making money, running on adrenaline, and I was starving this day. I was shaking. I thought I was going to go into a diabetic coma. You know, I'd done far too much reading at 4 a.m. You know, don't read medical encyclopedias at 4 a.m. because by 6 a.m. you're at the hospital with about 19 different diagnoses. And I saw these lollies at this open home, and I thought to myself, so I was starving, I'm going to have me some of those. So I grabbed a few and I wiped them down. And in the corner of my eye, I spotted this device with a black lens and a little thing flashing red and green. And I thought, shit, I'm being videoed. So what I did was I sort of went, whoa, my career's about to end in slow motion. I sort of veered away out of the path of the thing. And I thought, God, these vendors, that's just, you know. So I walked up to it, I thought, what is that? And I walked up to it really closely. And I've looked into it and then I've stared right into the lens, like that far away. And it's gone into my face and it's burned my eyes. And I'm sort of, you know, I'm screaming, crying, thinking, shit, these are some sick, twisted vendors. They've even got an anti-tamper device on their camera. You know what it was? A motion detected air freshener. True story. And I just thought everybody still had a mouth. I really did. And people would ring me up on that day, they said, what are your scripts and dialogues? And I swear to God I said these words. What is a script and dialogue? I'd actually never heard it before. And I was so proud to win this award because I had a graduation certificate from rehab and then I won this. And I felt really good. I felt really proud. And I looked at this trophy a lot. And I used to put it in my leather briefcase and take it around to listen to presentations. And I'd pull it out sometimes and sit there and say, just to let you know, I'm quite an important person. The more chance you've got of generating that appraisal, and if they're nurtured correctly, they will turn into listings. The problem is most people are all about the catch and kill. I want a listing today. The reason why people are terrified about third-party portals is this, because that's all about the listing today. If you've got a relationship with someone over a period of time, which requires hard work and dedication and focus and proper process and management, you'll get, they don't call in a third party. But if you want the catch and kill, good luck with that, because you'll all be about the third party portals. It's just the truth. So when a staff member says to me, I can't get appraisals, I say this. I say, Pete, it's Monday morning, 9 o'clock. I'm going to pull out my gun. I'm going to hold it to your head. Okay? If you don't have 5 generated appraisals by 5 p.m. Friday, I'm going to execute you. I'm going to blow your brains out. I'm going to end your life if you know it. You can have the big sleep infinitum. How do you feel about that? Because that's pretty bad and dramatic. I say, Peter, do you think you'll have 5 appraisals? He goes, yes. And you know what? As dramatic as that is, if you're serious about a career in real estate, that's the level of hunger you need. Oh, it's a tough market. It's down. Is it a 7 out of 10? Is it a 4 out of 10? Is it a 10 out of 10? Because hungry people will do whatever it takes, and I mean whatever it takes, And I'll say it again, whatever it takes to win. That's what successful people do. 5 years ago, it cost $80,000. No one had done it before, so we had 4 buses, 16 hours a day. Our competitors said this: "You guys look like you're coming out of vaginas." I wonder if anybody's ever said that word before at a rare event. Get edited out. Can't sell, give us a crack. So when we sold our first 1,000 properties in 30 months, "Mate, we've been here before." He says, "Yeah, Dad, I remember. It was horrible." I said, "Why, Harry?" He said, "You hardly saw the show. It made me so upset." I said to Harry, "I'm so sorry, mate. I lost my way. That will never happen again." He said, "Dad, what made it really, really bad was that there was this scene in Mary Poppins where she flies over the audience and she flew right over me and she stared straight into my eyes and I was really embarrassed because I was crying." I thought that broke my heart, it really did. I'd been such a fool, so blind, so stupid. We watched King Kong that night, my phone was off and we all loved it. I was present the entire time. Thanks for asking me to speak.